Hello everybody, welcome to Live at 5 on Wednesday, July the 20th, and oh my word, we've got a really special guest today.
Two.
Well, two. Tyler Lee.
And a little girl named Daisy, which you'll find out more about.
We'll find out more about Daisy
from
shortly.
Curious Incident.
Which is my favourite show on Broadway.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
It's awesome.
I've been going on about it for a very long time.
I know.
It's fabulous.
You Brits really, you were right about that one.
We were.
You know, you were talking it up and then it turned out it was actually really great.
Yeah,
So thanks
it really
for that.
was.
Thanks
okay.
for bringing
well,
that
we
over.
tried to do that. Okay, some sad news.
Oh.
Fiddler on the Roof
Oh.
has announced its Broadway closing date, December the 31st.
In-
Now, when a show announces this far out, it would imply that another show wants that theatre and wants to put tickets
Are you going
on
to reveal
sale.
what that show is?
Well, I know what that show is.
I know you do.
But I'm not allowed to say.
Okay, it's a show. Let's give them a hint. It's a show that won't surprise you to be at that theater.
No.
The Broadway theater.
No, it won't surprise you at all.
Right.
Didn't surprise us.
But yeah, this is the latest show now to announce a closing really far out.
Yeah.
Right? This is the new thing now.
Yeah, it is a new thing.
The new thing now
It
is that you
has become a
announce
thing.
your closing in like 6 months.
Yeah.
So, so there's plenty of time to see
Plenty of
Fiddler,
time.
and make sure you do see it.
Because it's
there's
closing.
Amazing performances.
Find out
You have
time.
until New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. So there we go. Right, we need to talk about Laura Benanti.
Somebody said
now.
Prince of Broadway. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't
Couldn't
know.
possibly
We'll see.
comment.
Somebody said Miss Saigon. Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, I don't know.
Who knows?
What is this show about? Fiddler on the Roof? It's about a family. It's great. Just go see it. You know Fiddler on the Roof. What is this show about? This show is
The
about
show-
interviewing top Broadway stars live.
Live.
And who do we have today?
Live. We've got Tyler Lee,
Right, and Daisy.
And Daisy.
Who you'll meet.
who you'll meet.
Okay,
All right,
what
Laura
else?
Benanti.
Oh yeah,
This was
she's found her great. She's found her
amazing.
best role.
So,
I mean,
back in the day, we
Yes.
remember Tina Fey to Sarah Palin during
Yeah.
2008
Yeah.
presidential election.
yeah.
And it was just extraordinary.
Mhm.
While Laura Benanti last night did Melania Trump.
Right.
And it was incredible.
Yeah. She
Absolutely
nails it.
Nails it.
I wonder if we could create a one-woman show for her to do
So,
a
but it's
Melania
not
show.
possible.
That might be the one good thing to come out of a Trump presidency, a Melania one-woman
But
show maybe.
It's gone viral. She's just done
Huge.
an interview with the New York Times.
Ah.
I mean, it really has now got to that level. So well done, Laura Benanti.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Love that. All right, Daveed Diggs. This man is on fire. He's not blowing his shot.
So he left Hamilton, a week ago?
yeah, let's
Last
go on
week?
Friday.
Right.
Okay.
He just left.
So he's now got 3 jobs. This is his 3rd job. We've heard about about 3
What's
days.
happening?
He's doing the 3rd season of Blackish.
Okay.
He was also, as we previously reported, doing Wonder, which is a big movie with Julia Roberts.
Cool.
And Tour de Pharmacy, which is an HBO mockumentary. He only left Hamilton
So yeah, it's all happening
last
for
week.
Daveed
It's all happening
Diggs.
for Daveed Diggs, so well done, Daveed.
And he won a Tony,
And he won a Tony.
which is nice.
Which
too.
is nice.
Bonus.
Exactly, right. Darren Criss and more will join from Broadway with Love, a benefit concert for Orlando on July the 25th at Florida's Dr.
Monday.
Phillips Center.
Yep.
Yes.
We're happy to fly down there if anyone needs us
right.
to.
We're happy to report if anyone.
Happy to report
If
from
anyone.
Florida.
Yeah. Tony Danza.
This I love. I just love. So White Rabbit, Red Rabbit is that show where people don't know the actors walk in, they don't know the script.
And it's
They
a
get
different
handed the
actor
script, they
every
walk
Monday.
on stage. I love the idea of Tony Danza doing this. I just think it's hilarious. I
Well,
think if you're gonna go see it, go see Tony Danza. do
August
it.
the 8th.
How could that not be great?
So August the
August
8th,
8th,
I think that's
yeah.
probably really in your calendar already.
Yeah, I
Should
also
we do an
love the
office
idea of
trip?
Judith Light wandering on and helping him at some point. I don't know, that'd be good.
Okay, you're dreamcasting this.
More sad news.
Also news, Gary Marshall.
Yeah, Gary Marshall, 81, right?
Died at 81.
Sort of a legendary Hollywood director,
Absolutely.
producer, and
Did Pretty Woman,
he's
did
been
Happy
working on this
Days.
Pretty Woman musical.
Yeah, which is supposed to bow next year. It's got a very, very solid Broadway team behind it. So I'm sure they'll want to carry on and do it in tribute for him.
And he previously made that musical version of Happy Days
Yes,
too.
he did. That was on
yeah.
tour.
So he's a real musical theater fan. He's a real Broadway
Yeah,
was a Broadway
so it's
fan,
very
and
sad.
so we lost him.
Very sad. In other news, Jonathan Groff said that if there was a looking musical, he'd want to be in it.
I love that that the New York Times has finally realized that Jonathan Groff is clickbait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've
They just
known
wrote this
this for how
random
many
fluffy
years?
article about him. We've been doing this for years.
Years. We
But I'm
know
glad
all
they
that.
caught on.
Eventually.
And you will get a lot of traffic for that. And he talked about what? A looking musical.
A looking musical.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
But
Here's the thing. I mean, the New York Times do eventually pick up on what we do and then do it themselves, don't they?
yeah.
This happens. A couple of videos also nods and ends today. Fun Ham for Ham. And Brian Justin Crumb was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, he was
You know about him.
he was the standby in Gabe for the role of Gabe in Next to Normal, and yeah, he's the latest theater actor to go on these shows,
Yeah.
and America's Got Talent is this one, and he's like blowing them all
Oh,
away.
yeah. Amazing.
It's just funny when I see this, theater people who are so talented, and then they go on these shows and they make everyone else just look ridiculous because
Yeah.
they're so talented. Because
and they're
we are just
here
surrounded by
doing
talent.
8 shows a week on Broadway.
Speaking of talent,
Speaking of
why don't
talent,
you introduce today's talent for the third time,
it's
and I'll do the sound
Lee
effect. Yep.
and Daisy.
Come on in.
Hi. Hello. Look, we have a very special guest today. We have Daisy.
So, Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
Hello. So
This
how long has Daisy been with you?
With me
Yes.
since February.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
And
8 months.
8 months old. She's been very beautifully behaved, famous last words for an animal doing live anything. And does she live with you at the theatre?
Yes,
She
in my
comes to
dressing
the
room.
theatre.
Mhm.
Okay, and is she very good, or does she? Because there are animals backstage at Curious Incident, the Dog of the Night Time.
Yes,
How does that work?
she's fine. She stays in her kennel. She's actually that's her dressing room now. It's
All
not,
right.
That's not mine
Not
anymore.
your dressing room. She's taken over the dressing room.
Yeah.
Because you've got not to spoil alert, but everyone knows about Curious Incident. Oh, we're not allowed to talk about what goes on stage. Oh, okay.
This is my dog.
All right, but we're not allowed to talk about. Okay, fine. All right, moving on. So you've been in Curious Incident for almost a year now.
Yes.
How are you coping? How are you keeping it fresh? Because it's really a marathon, not a sprint.
Right. Yeah. It is. That's the biggest challenge is keeping it fresh every day. It's something every week. There's something new to something to tweak and challenge myself to be more precise or something. And always remember that the people out there that haven't seen it. That's the there's still people out there that are moved by it and love it. So that really keeps me going. It's just knowing that people are coming to see it and.
Now, you have till September the 4th, everybody, to go and see
September 4th.
Curious Incident on
Yeah.
Broadway. It's at the Barrymore Theatre. So for those who know nothing about Curious Incident, and really you should by now, but for those who know nothing about Curious Incident, talk to me a bit about the world of Curious Incident.
Sure, yeah, it's all set inside Christopher Boone's brain. He is on the spectrum, and it's set. He's very, very mathematical. The set is a graph because that's just the way his brain would work. It's a mystery story. It's a whodunit in the first act, and then we go on to a big journey to London.
It's mind-blowing. On some levels, it's like a musical. I mean, it got a Tony nomination for Best Choreography.
Right. Yeah.
And it's immersive as well. It's not a traditional play. I mean, you go in and there's lights and there's sound, and it really is extraordinary.
All of it's to put the audience inside Christopher's mind. The way the sounds maybe turned up a little bit, so you get the awareness of the stuff that goes on in his head. When he hears something that's really loud and like that, you get that effect. And the lights and the overwhelming sensory things that come into him is the elements of the design are just great for that.
Now, Christopher is on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
So how did you go around researching your role? I mean,
Yeah.
what did you do?
I read a lot of books, psychology books. There's a lot of stuff out there that I got to read people's accounts of growing up with autism and being in the working world and just how they dealt with social things. And we got to do some one-on-one stuff with CUSAC here in New York City, which is a life skills class place it's after school. They come there and they just get to work on life skills using money, using public transportation, all those different things. And I got to see when I went there, I thought I got to see oh, Christopher is a real person. He's there that. It's in all of these guys that we're sitting with right now.
And you must have a stage door like no other on Broadway. I mean, have you found that you're meeting incredible kids?
Oh yeah,
and inspiring kids.
There was one kid that he was at the stage door, and he comes as soon as I walk out the door. He goes, "I'm autistic too." He related to Christopher so much, and he goes, "But you can touch me. You can touch me," because Christopher doesn't like being touched. That is a trait of some autistic people.
It really is incredible. Now you're also doing an English accent.
Yes.
So how did that go? Do you have sort of an English coach.
Yes, I do,
yeah.
actually. His name's Ben Fury. He's worked with me. I actually was my teacher in school at School of the Arts in North
Amazing.
Carolina, and he just happened to be up here in Broadway working on this. And so I worked with him. He's from England, and I had a lot of training in it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I have friends who, from England, and just hear it everywhere.
I mean, it was tough. I mean, you took over from a Tony winner, from Alex Shaw. Now that, for the most seasoned Broadway vets, is
Right.
they do talk about that it's very tough stepping into a
Yeah.
role and making it their own. But you obviously have. I mean, you've done it for almost a year now.
Yeah.
How was that process for you?
Well, I mean, all of the creative people that, all the directors and things like that, I mean, it was all about, letting it be my own. We had a full rehearsal process that you don't normally get, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Being a replacement, we had a full table work, and we had to, break down the script, and so it was, they presented me an opportunity to really let me make it my own. And I think Christopher, it's owed to Christopher to be able to do that, to bring myself to it, my own experiences. It's really the only way you can do it, I guess.
Now, how did you land the role of Christopher? Because, I mean, I think it's a pretty extraordinary
Yeah.
story, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were at school, essentially.
Well, I wasn't at school. I've been up in
Yeah.
New York for 4 years,
Okay.
actually. I guess I can tell. I kind of I'm embarrassed to tell this story, but I'm not
No,
really.
don't.
It was the first go round
Mhm.
when it first came to Broadway.
Yeah.
I'm telling this story because it's second chances are always
Well,
great.
we want inspirational stories.
Inspirational
That's what our
story.
viewers love.
So this first go round, I was in final callbacks.
Mhm.
I was with Alex and everybody was in
Yeah.
final callbacks for it, and I didn't get the part, and I thought it was over. I thought
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is the perfect part for me, and I'm not just I was kind of done. I was I really really wanted to play this part, and then I got a second chance at it. They called me
Mhm.
again to come in and go through the rehearsal. I mean the audition process again, and it was just the right time, and I went through the whole we had the same casting call, and then director
Yeah.
session, and the producer, we had a movement session, so yeah.
What advice do you have for kids out there? Don't give up. Train.
Right,
Do
yeah.
something else.
No,
I mean, as
yeah.
well, have backup.
Yeah, train. Train, don't give up, keep working, and if you really want something, you have to work for it. Those kind of things, and if you have I don't know, it's just always iffy to say, have a backup. I don't know. I mean, because if you really,
Yeah.
if this is the thing you want, then don't
Then
have a
go and do
backup, but, have other skills, have other interests too, because that's the life of an actor, having all kinds of interests.
Now, what would fans be surprised to know about you?
About me?
I know you've got a bit of a plant obsession. Is that
well,
right?
yeah, that's embarrassing.
It
no, it's not. I just I feel like I'm
embarrassing?
I have this image of people that think I'm in my apartment playing with plants.
Oh, it's
I'm
all right.
crazy.
Ben Whishaw was talking to me. He's got crystals in his dressing
Oh,
room.
yeah.
My friend Sierra has crystals.
Yeah.
She's got cards. She's got all sorts of things. So definitely everything goes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I love having plants in my apartment. I love having that, and she takes up a lot of my time. I was surprised about me. I grew up on a farm. Is that a surprising fact?
It's pretty cool.
I don't know.
It's pretty cool.
I used to have goats and sheep and everything like that. I was
There you
a
go.
real farm boy.
All right, now I always like to bring it back to the show.
Yeah.
So why do you think audiences love Curious Incident as much as you do? Because it really is an exquisite show.
Yeah. I just think people are inspired by it. I think you get to watch Christopher go through these tough obstacles, and he really fights through them, and he doesn't let anything stop him, and he makes it in the end. He's he kind of proves to me that anything is possible.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, everybody, this date is very important. September the 4th at Broadway's Barrymore Theatre. You have until then to see Curious Incident, The Dog in the Nighttime. Now, trust me on this. It's Curious Incident and Colour Purple are the most incredible shows on Broadway.
Oh God.
No, those two. So if you want to see a musical, then I'm saying
Yeah.
Colour Purple. But if you want to see a play, you have until September the 4th to get yourself to Curious Incident, and you have to do so. So
Yes.
go see Tyler and everyone there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Live at Fibers, thank you for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, and thank you, Daisy. And you were beautifully behaved.
Good girl.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.